is a sellout crowd, 75,000 plus at Mile High Stadium. The 95th consecutive sellout here in Denver. Rich Collis with the approach, and we're underway in Denver. Greg Pruitt out across the 15-yard line. So the 11-year veteran out of Oklahoma setting up 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Jim Plunkett at quarterback. Marcus Allen coming off his first 100-yard game of the season on Monday against Miami in the backfield with Kenny King. Cliff Branch, who has been dissatisfied that Plunkett has not been throwing his way. The tight end Todd Christensen has been seeing much of the action, and that offensive line anchored by the center Dave Dalby. 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. And Plunkett to throw on 1st down, and going deep for the tight end. Intended for Christensen. Dennis Smith, the strong safety, number 49, got a piece of it to break it up.
You know, it's a strange feeling, but the last time, this game almost looks like a mismatch. As good as the Raiders have been playing, and as mediocre as the Broncos have been playing, and we do know they play pretty well at home. The last time it was this way, they got blown out of the tub, the Raiders did, by the Broncos. Stabler threw 7 interceptions, and those 4 linebackers were very instrumental.
And a look at the Denver secondary. Key injuries suffered by Denver defensively without Rulon Jones and without Bob Swenson now for a couple of weeks. Marcus Allen. Allen across the 25-yard line. So picked up 7. It'll be a 3rd down and 3. Tom Jackson in on the stop.
And Marcus Allen is some kind of treasure. He not only can run the ball as well as anybody in the game, but as a pass receiver, I don't think he has an equal.
John Elway with Sammy Winder, who was held in check last week by the Eagles. 10 carries, 4 yards, along with Rick Parros in the backfield. The receivers up Church, Watson, and Jim Wright. Wright caught 4 last week against Philadelphia. And Studdard, Bishop, Bryant, Howard, and Lanier. They shift out of the eye. 1st down from the 32. Sammy Winder. Winder had some good days earlier in the season in the opener. 96 yards, 20 carries against Pittsburgh. Ken Hendricks right there to stop him.
And when you talk about the Raider defensive line, these fellas all play interchangeably depending on the situation. Long, Alzado, Townsend, and Piquel are a fierce pass rush when the 4 of them are in there together, but it might seem like you're going to get all 6 at once the way they've been playing.
Winder picked up 8. It's a 2nd down and 2. And this time the Raider defense right there to stop Winder. Led by Howie Long, number 75, and the Mad Stork, number 83, Ted Hendricks. It is short of a first. No, they say they picked it up. They did pick up the 1st down as you look at the rest of that Raider defense.
A couple of certain all-pros on the ends there, and Hendricks and Martin. Lester Hayes has been playing back to his form of a couple years ago.
The back split now, and now Winder is flanked to the left. The lone deep back is Rick Parros. That's Parros. Rick Parros in his 3rd year out of Utah State, averaging 3 yards per carry. Matt Millen and Mike Davis on the tackle. John Elway yet to put one up. Last week, 18 for 33, 193 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. And as we said at the top, showed some signs at the end, but also heard some boos.
What I like so far the best is that they're getting out of the huddle a whole lot quicker than they have been in the past 3 games, and that's very important for a young quarterback.
2nd down 5, 47-yard line. Short setup for Elway. So he's 1 for 1 as he clicks with Rick Upchurch. 3rd down and 9. And Elway for Upchurch. The collision between Upchurch, McElroy, and Watts to break it up.
Van McElroy took both Watts and Upchurch out of that play.
All right, here's Plunkett. Picked off by Steve Foley. So Foley on the intercept, his second of the season, and the Broncos will take over. Kenny King making the tackle on Foley. A timeout called. It'll be Denver ball when we return. Less than a minute remaining. First quarter, no score. Nathan Poole now in the backfield with Sammy Winder. This is Poole. And Elway had to improvise on that one as he hit Nathan Poole.
That's the kind of ability that you can't teach. I mean, here's a kid whose reactions are so fast that he sees a blitzing linebacker, has no chance to get around him, yet stands up right in his face and throws the ball over the top of his head. Now that's Ted Hendricks. He's not only batted a lot of balls down, but quarterbacks with him.
This first quarter has come to a close. Denver and Los Angeles scoreless. A look at the stats in the first quarter. And neither club really able to get going. Scoreless first quarter. John Elway now 2 for 7. 27 yards. Has a first down at the 29. Sammy Winder. Nice change of direction. Stopped by Van.
There goes Alzado.
Yep, look out. Alzado getting involved with a couple of Broncos.
It's the center, Bishop.
And Lyle, who heard it from the crowd earlier when they announced his name on his first tackle of the day, is hearing it once again.
Well, I'll tell you what happened, Marv, is Keith Bishop, starting at the guard position, made a block on him, ran him down the field about 8 yards, and maintaining his block, and no defensive end really likes that. Lyle got a little physical with him. He didn't cowtail to him. He just took after him, and a fight was the result.
And it is picked off by McElroy. Van McElroy. Elway looking to air it out, and McElroy with the interception, and we have words between several Raiders and Broncos.
And a penalty back here, so we'll have to wait to see. It's back there where the quarterback was throwing the ball, so.
Allen and King are the running backs. And Plunkett has his man, Cliff Branch, for a touchdown. So Cliff Branch, who was outspoken, particularly during preseason, in fact, he said he felt Mark Wilson should be the starter rather than Plunkett. Now Cliff is all smiles.
Yeah, I don't understand why a guy would come out and make a statement like that about a teammate who has taken him as far as Jim Plunkett has. I mean, if you take a look at how many ball games he's been in a row where they have won, I mean, 8 out of 9 last year. They've won them all this year. And Branch has helped. That's true. But how many quarterbacks are going to put the ball where that ball was thrown? And he does it whenever Cliff gets open deep.
All right, Chris Barr, who has had a rocky season, but it has not mattered because they have not needed his leg, able to put it through. He's missed 2 extra points, and he's missed 3 field goals. And he has just given the Raiders a 7-0 lead. Incidentally, Branch now says he is very pleased that Plunkett is the starting quarterback. 2 minutes, 58 seconds remaining first half off the 35-yard Plunkett to Branch touchdown. It's the Raiders 7, Broncos nothing.
Jim Plunkett is quarterback of the Los Angeles Raiders. In his 13 years in the NFL, he's known great moments of victory and periods of despair. But Jim Plunkett always kept trying. He never gave up.
Hello. It's a lesson I learned from my parents, and they taught me never to quit. You see, both of my parents were blind, but that never stopped them. They raised a family. They gave me a chance to be whatever my vision could make me.
As a United Way volunteer, Jim teaches others the lessons that his parents taught him.
Sometimes the mere sharing of the beauty in a single flower can open a new experience for someone, even if they never see it. Perhaps through people who cannot see, we can all come to understand and learn the lesson that life is what you make it. And what you make it is up to you. You know, thanks to you, it really does work for all of us, the United Way.
34-yard punt for that man, Ray Guy. It's spotted at the 24. And the Broncos trailing by the score of 7-0. First down at their 24. 59 seconds left in the half. Winder and now Preston in the backfield. Dave Preston, a solid pass receiver. Penalty marker down.
Holding on.
And Elway was nearly picked off again. Ted Hendricks had a shot at it.
And he really got hit by Pickell. He moved out of the pocket, tried to hang in there a little bit long, put something on the ball, and he really got labeled.
Rick Townsend went over to check and see how Elway is.
Well, he's not okay, I'll tell you that. All you have to do is stay with the quarterback. Don't take a look at the ball. He gets the ball off, stands right in the face of Pickell, number 71, who comes around as a block offensively. Very clean hit, but a very vicious one.
So that's the end of the first half with the score of the Los Angeles Raiders 7 and the Denver Broncos nothing. They only score 35-yard touchdown pass to Cliff Branch.
He's one-on-one. He's just like Lester Hayes all day long. Jim Plunkett's trying to get the ball to the wide receiver. Somebody's coming over to try and help him. It looks like Mike Harden, but he doesn't need any help. He stuffs Barnwell and the ball.
And Chris Barr has come on to attempt the field goal. This will be a 28-yard attempt. We mentioned he's had his difficulties this season, but he's a streak man right now, not in the midst of a good one. But this one is right through. So Barr is now 3 for 6 on the season.
And that one went off a Bronco.
Steve DeBerg, who came on for John Elway, who got rocked in the second quarter. This is Winder. Beautiful run for the first down. And more. And McElroy on the tackle. Sammy Winder kind of picking his way through holes.
Well, because it didn't look as if there would be one, but it was a little trap block by the tight end Wright. Now take a look, number 87 in your picture. He had to wait for Wright to get by him, get on the middle linebacker, and when he did so, a hole created for him, and he picked up a nice game.
NFL's top all-purpose backs. Greg Pruitt. 3rd down and 4 at the 11. He's got Pruitt, but not able to hang on. Pruitt running the post pattern, and he split the secondary. Covered by Roger Jackson and Dennis Smith.
Very congested in there, Marv, but Jim threw the ball the only place it could be received easily. Now he's got Pruitt one-on-one. When you get a man one-on-one right over the middle, it's the easiest throw in the game. He throws it right down there low. Pruitt will handle 4 or 5, about 9 out of 100 of those, but that's the 3rd time today he's had trouble catching the football.
So here is Chris Barr, who hit earlier from 27. This one from 29. And Barr has connected again. So the Los Angeles Raiders able to put up 3 more on the board, and with 2:23 left, 3rd quarter, they now lead it 13-0. Again with time. Touchdown. And again, it's Cliff Branch.
How good a throw was that one, Marv? That ball was thrown before Branch made his final move. Threw it right on the numbers. allowed Branch to catch the ball in stride. It looks like it's so easy you can do that every time, all right? But the skill involved in this play is to be able to read your receiver and his move so well that the throwing lane is there. You put it right where it has to be thrown. You know it's going to be caught. You know he's going to move in that direction at a specific time, and those two have worked beautifully on 2 plays today.
Earlier from 35, this from 17. Mark Wilson will hold for Chris Bond. And the Los Angeles Raiders looking very powerful, and we're winding down.
17-yard completion, Marv. Steps back, quick pass in between 4 defenders. All of them take a shot and miss him. Looks like he's got about a foot to go for a first.
So the first completion on the day by Steve DeBerg. And at the end of the 3rd quarter, it's the Raiders 20, Broncos nothing. We'll be back after these messages from your local station. Bishop called on the penalty, and first and long for DeBerg. And the fumble recovered by the Raiders.
Howie
Long on the recovery. And a timeout has been called. A minute gone by in this 4th quarter. Raiders will take over, leading 20-0. Back in Denver, Howie Long covering up on the fumble by Sammy Winder. Here it is.
You take a look at Sammy, never really had the ball clean. Archie Reese got his hand in, created the fumble, and both Howie Long and Archie Reese are working very well together today.
Guy averaging 47 yards and has had a good day. Luke Crestridge has punted 8 times. Good rush. Here's Thomas. Out to the 40. 45. 30. Zach Thomas all the way. '69-yard run on the punt return by the rookie from South Carolina State.
They finally gave the horse a chance to run. Listen, there weren't many people left in the stands to see it, but they sure did miss something. This kid is running in place of Rick Upchurch, who has been for years the best punt returner in this game. He's taken over right where he left off. We've seen him run a couple back in very fine fashion. Watch Todd Christensen. He falls, he gets blocked just as he's trying to make the tackle. And it's all roses from there on in.
Zach Thomas had a 42-yard kickoff return against Pittsburgh in the opener. That's the Broncos' longest kickoff return in some 3 years. So the Broncos able to maintain 1 mark. They have never been shut out here in Denver. And the point after by Rick Collison. Zach Thomas providing some late excitement to get the Broncos on the board.
Well, this is just an individual run. Beautiful play. Gets out of Jeff Barnes' grasp. You can see Todd Christensen trying to come over and help out. But I'll tell you what, he ran right into Darren Carmio, and it was a rough landing for Todd.
What this provides from the Raider point of view, going into the final 2 minutes, Tom Flores and his staff look at the films at this point. All right, here is Ray Guy on 4th down, 9th punt of the day. Keeping it away from Zach Thomas. Out of bounds at the 6.
They're a good football team that hadn't played well, but you know is dangerous.
Look out, safety. Steve DeBerg hit for the safety. Greg Townsend leading the charge.
He looks like he's just having so much fun out there. I wonder if he comes from TCU, which is not renowned for its football team, okay? And I'm sure he had his share of losses over the years. But since joining the Raiders, he has added a new dimension to their defensive line. He gets around so fast. Paul Howard trying to help out the tackle. Couldn't get there in time. Townsend racks up 2.
Townsend, who racked up 6 against the Dolphins on Monday with that 66-yard run on the victory by the Raiders. That will wrap it. Clock running down now. We're down to 5 seconds. The Los Angeles Raiders, with that outstanding defense, doing it again, defeating the Denver Broncos by the score of 22-7. Marv Albert and John Brody in Denver. Again, the final. Raiders 22, Broncos 7.